Welcome everyone to another exciting and fascinating deep dive into the world of rare coins and numismatic treasures, where today we will explore in great detail the incredible story of the 1983 D1 penny USA coin that has stunned collectors, enthusiasts, and experts alike because of its astonishing value of $0.890 million, a figure far beyond its humble face value of just 1 cent. And the journey into understanding how such an ordinary-looking coin can turn into a life-changing treasure is filled with layers of history, minting processes, rare errors, and the unpredictable quirks of coin production that make certain pieces unbelievably scarce and therefore immensely valuable in the eyes of collectors all over the world. And to understand this, we need to go back to the year 1983, a pivotal time in US coinage history because the composition of pennies had recently changed in 1982 from mostly copper to a zinc core with a thin copper plating, a change that introduced new challenges and opportunities for unusual minting errors to occur. And among all the coins struck in 1983 at the Denver Mint, some carried subtle and rare anomalies that would later make them numismatic legends, the most prized among them being the 1983 D1 penny that displays certain mistakes or mint mark irregularities that are so rare they elevate the coin's worth from a single cent to nearly $900,000. And these mint errors can include double dies where the design elements like the date, lettering, or Lincoln's portrait are accidentally impressed twice in slightly different positions due to a misalignment in the minting process, resulting in a distinct doubling visible to the naked eye under certain lighting, and collectors seek out such double die errors because they are essentially one-of-a-kind accidents, never intentionally repeated, making them historically important and aesthetically unique. And in addition to double dies, there are off-center strikes where the coin's design is shifted away from its normal placement because the blank planchet was not perfectly seated in the coin press, leading to dramatic visuals where part of the design is missing, and the blank space is left as a raw metal crescent, a mistake that instantly catches a collector's eye. And in some cases, the 1983 D penny can also have wrong planchet errors where the coin was struck on a planchet intended for another denomination such as a dime or a foreign coin, giving it the wrong weight and sometimes the wrong metal composition, which significantly boosts rarity. And there's also the intriguing possibility of transitional errors where a coin is struck with the metal composition of a previous year. For example, a 1983 penny accidentally made from a 95% copper planchet instead of the intended copper-plated zinc, a scenario that can only occur if leftover blanks from the previous year were mistakenly fed into the presses, and such transitional errors are exceedingly rare because mints are careful to clear out older stock. Yet history shows that human oversight or machine mishaps can let a few slip through, making them gems for collectors. And for the 1983 D penny specifically, certain specimens have shown combinations of errors, like a double die paired with a wrong planchet or an off-center strike, that dramatically enhance desirability. And the Denver Mint mark itself, the small d beneath the date, can also be a source of variation, as sometimes the mint mark punch was repunched or misaligned, leading to what collectors call repunched mint marks, RPMs, where a faint second D is visible under magnification. And in the 1983 series, RPM varieties are less common but when found in high-grade condition can fetch astonishing premiums. And speaking of grade, the coin's condition as assessed by professional grading services plays a massive role in determining value, because a coin with a rare error in poor condition might still be worth hundreds or thousands of dollars. But when the same error coin is preserved in pristine mint state with full luster and sharp details, the price can skyrocket into hundreds of thousands. And in the case of the $0.890 million valuation for a 1983 D penny, we are talking about a specimen that not only had an exceptionally rare error, possibly a double die combined with a transitional wrong planchet strike, but was also found in near perfect mint state condition, certified by a leading grading authority, making it a once-in-a-lifetime find. And the story of how such coins are discovered is equally fascinating, because often they are found by chance in loose change, inherited coin jars, or bank rolls, and many times the original finder has no idea what they have until they either show it to an experienced dealer or decide to research the coin online. And the rise of online marketplaces, numismatic forums, and auction platforms has allowed such rare finds to come into the spotlight, with high-profile auctions drawing intense bidding wars from collectors and investors who understand the long-term value of owning such a rare piece of minting history. And beyond the pure financial aspect, coins like the 1983 D penny with its staggering value and error pedigree tell a larger story about American minting history, about how even with all the precision machinery and quality control measures, the human element and mechanical complexities involved in striking billions of coins. Leave room for anomalies, and these anomalies, rather than being discarded as failures, become treasured artifacts that capture a moment in minting history. And the fascination with error coins runs deep in the numismatic community because each error is essentially a fingerprint of a specific moment and mishap, never to be exactly repeated, and when combined with factors like low survival rate, public interest, and condition rarity, they create the perfect storm for skyrocketing value. And this is why serious collectors study die varieties, mint records, and auction histories obsessively, to identify patterns and predict which coins might be the next big discovery. And the 1983 D-penny has earned its legendary status because it sits at the intersection of rarity, error complexity, historical timing, and collector demand. And its valuation at $0.890 million is not just about the metal it's made from, but about the story it carries, the excitement it generates, and the rarity that makes even seasoned collectors marvel. And it serves as a reminder that treasure can still be found in the most unexpected places, that every penny, no matter how ordinary it looks, has the potential to be a hidden gem if it carries the right combination of quirks and conditions, and that the hobby of coin collecting is as much about history and storytelling as it is about profit, because every coin is a small metal witness to the time, technology, and people that produced it. And so when we hold a coin like the rare 1983 D1 penny worth $0.890 million, we are not just holding a cent, we are holding a fragment of history, a product of chance, and a testament to the enduring fascination of human beings with the rare and extraordinary. And it is this blend of chance, history, and artistry that keeps the hunt alive for collectors around the world, driving them to sift through change, search bank rolls, visit coin shows, and bid fiercely at auctions in the hope that they too might one day find the next coin that will rewrite the record books and perhaps, like the 1983 D-penny, turn a single cent into a fortune. Where we unravel the fascinating story of a seemingly ordinary 1998 D1 penny USA coin that, despite its humble face value of just 1 cent, has captured the attention of coin collectors, treasure hunters, and numismatics enthusiasts worldwide due to its extraordinary market worth of $0.76 million. A staggering figure that transforms this little copper-plated zinc disc into an object of immense curiosity and desire, and today we'll explore in detail exactly why such a coin could be worth such a fortune, the rare minting errors and subtle mistakes that elevate its value from pocket change to a collector's dream, and the multiple possibilities that make it such an exceptional find, starting with the context of its creation during the late 1990s when the Denver Mint, marked by the distinctive D Mint mark, was producing billions of pennies annually, each intended to be identical, standardized, and perfectly aligned to the specifications set by the United States Mint, yet in such a vast scale of production, rare imperfections sometimes slipped through the quality control processes, and these rare anomalies became prized treasures because they represent both a historical artifact and a physical manifestation of human and mechanical imperfection. And in the case of the 1998 D-penny, certain examples have surfaced with a combination of mint mark anomalies, striking errors, and die imperfections that make them one of a kind, such as a double die obverse where the inscriptions like Liberty or the date 1998 appear slightly doubled under magnification, a visual oddity caused by a misalignment during the die creation process, or in some rare cases, the mint mark D itself being misplaced, struck at an unusual angle, or even appearing as an over-mint mark where remnants of another letter seem to lurk beneath, giving the coin a mysterious layered history. And further adding to its intrigue are instances of off-center strikes where the design is shifted noticeably toward one edge, leaving part of the blank planchet exposed, a misstep that transforms the otherwise perfectly balanced coin design into something asymmetrical yet captivating to collectors who seek rarity above uniformity. And then there's the possibility of broad strikes, where the coin is struck outside of the collar that normally shapes its rim, creating a wider, smoother edge and an unmistakable deviation from standard pennies. And while such errors might be small to the casual observer, to a specialist they are glaring signs of uniqueness, each flaw amplifying the story and desirability of the coin, especially when multiple anomalies coexist on a single specimen, as happens in the rarest of cases. For instance, a 1998 D-penny could exhibit a combination of a double die, rotated die where the reverse is misaligned with the obverse, and a striking flaw that leaves a weak or missing detail in Lincoln's portrait or the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, making it a near impossible twin to any other coin ever minted. And beyond mechanical errors, environmental and metallurgical quirks sometimes create varieties like off-metal strikes, where a penny is accidentally struck on a planchet intended for a dime or foreign coin, resulting in incorrect weight, diameter, or composition. And these exotic misstrikes fetch staggering sums at auction because they combine error rarity with the appeal of an oddity that was never meant to exist, and the valuation of 76 cents million for such a 1998 D penny stems from the perfect storm of condition, rarity, and collector demand, for not only must the coin exhibit these rare traits, but it must also survive in impeccable condition, often graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC at the highest levels such as MS-68 or MS-69, meaning that it shows virtually no wear, retains its full original luster, and bears the sharpest possible strike details. And when such a pristine era coin emerges, competition among high-end collectors, museums, and investors can drive the price sky high, especially in the era of online bidding where global participation pushes values to unprecedented levels, and in the case of the $0.76 million example, the coin's provenance and story likely played a role, perhaps originating from a renowned collection or being featured in a numismatic journal, which adds a layer of prestige and historic significance to the piece, and while such finds are incredibly rare, they serve as powerful motivators for everyday people to inspect their change, because the possibility that a fortune could be hiding in a handful of coins is both thrilling and real, and stories abound of ordinary individuals discovering treasures in the most unexpected places, like a jar of pennies in the attic, a tip jar at a small cafe, or loose change in a car console. And each discovery fuels the fascination and mystery that surrounds coins like the 1998 D penny, reminding us that these small metal discs are not just currency but miniature pieces of history that can defy expectations in the most spectacular ways, and to truly appreciate the value of such a coin, one must understand that its worth is not just in the sum of its metallic content but in the convergence of artistry, historical context, manufacturing mishaps, and the passionate pursuit of collectors who see in it a story worth owning. A slice of American minting history that survived against the odds, and this is why a 1-cent coin can command hundreds of thousands of dollars, bridging the gap between the everyday and the extraordinary. And for anyone listening now, the takeaway is clear: keep your eyes open, examine those dates, mint marks, and tiny design details, because while the odds are slim, they are not zero, and the next record-breaking 1998 D penny could be sitting unnoticed in the palm of your hand, waiting to turn an ordinary day into the day you stumbled upon a $0.76 million marvel born from a simple mistake more than 2 decades ago. Where something as small and ordinary as a penny can hold a story worth hundreds of thousands, even millions, and today we are going to explore one such incredible piece of numismatic history, the 2001 1-penny USA coin, which against all odds, is valued at an astonishing $0.89 million, a staggering difference from its humble face value of just 1 cent. And this remarkable jump in worth is not due to any precious metal content, as modern pennies are mostly copper-plated zinc, but because of the unique errors, minting mistakes, and rare characteristics that make it a dream find for collectors and treasure hunters alike. And as we peel back the layers of its history, minting process, and the various circumstances that led to its extreme rarity, you will see why such a coin has become the stuff of legend in coin collecting circles. So let's start at the beginning, because in 2001 the US Mint was producing billions of pennies for circulation, most of them churned out with machine-like precision, but once in a while, something goes awry in the minting process, and an error coin is born, and in this specific case, multiple error types could be present, including double strikes, off-center strikes, misaligned dies, wrong planchets, or even dramatic die cracks, and sometimes a mint mark error such as a missing, misplaced, or inverted mint mark can dramatically increase the coin's rarity and desirability. And what makes the 2001 penny particularly fascinating is that collectors have found examples struck on the wrong planchet, meaning the blank piece of metal intended for another denomination was accidentally used, which can result in a penny being struck on a dime or nickel planchet, creating a coin with the design of a penny but the size, weight, or metallic composition of a different coin entirely. And when you combine that with additional striking errors such as doubling in the inscriptions or an off-center portrait of Abraham Lincoln, you have a coin that is visually striking, instantly recognizable to an experienced collector, and exceptionally rare. And in the numismatic market, rarity and demand go hand in hand, meaning the more unique the error, the fewer examples exist, and the more collectors are willing to pay extraordinary sums to own one. and in the case of the 2001 penny valued at $0.89 million. It is believed to have a combination of multiple errors, perhaps a double die obverse with a dramatic off-center strike, plus a wrong planchet scenario, and topped off with a rare mint mark anomaly such as a missing D or P, depending on the mint, and when such a coin surfaces, authenticated by top grading companies like PCGS or NGC, its market value skyrockets because serious collectors compete fiercely to add it to their holdings, and part of the allure is also the backstory, because these error coins are not supposed to leave the mint, yet a few slip past quality control, sometimes ending up in bank rolls, change jars, or in the hands of someone who has no idea they are holding a fortune, and when eventually discovered, they make headlines in coin magazines, auction houses, and numismatic forums, fueling the legend and driving up prices even further. And the 2001 penny in question, with its nearly $0.89 million value, has also drawn interest due to its condition, because error coins are often damaged or heavily worn when found, but this one exists in a high mint state, meaning it shows minimal wear and retains sharp details and brilliant luster, qualities that dramatically enhance its desirability, and beyond physical characteristics, the coin's value also reflects the psychology of collecting. There's a prestige to owning something no one else has, and for wealthy collectors, paying nearly $1 million for a penny is not just a purchase, it's a statement, and while some people might think spending that kind of money on a coin is absurd, for those in the numismatic world it's the ultimate prize, much like owning a rare piece of art or a vintage sports car, and every aspect of this 2001 penny's creation plays into that: its date, its mint origin, the striking anomalies, the mint mark oddities, and the fact that error coins from modern decades like the 2000s are harder to find in spectacular error form compared to older series, making it a true standout. And then there's the speculative side of coin collecting, because coins like this often appreciate in value over time, so buying it isn't just about pride of ownership, it's also an investment, and experts note that the demand for major mint errors has been rising steadily as more people get into the hobby thanks to online communities, YouTube channels, and social media groups dedicated to treasure hunting in pocket change, and the allure of finding something as valuable as this penny in everyday transactions is irresistible, because theoretically, such coins could still be out there in circulation, hiding in a piggy bank, a coin jar, or a forgotten drawer, waiting for a sharp-eyed individual to spot the anomalies, and the key is knowing what to look for, such as doubling in the letters of Liberty, or In God We Trust, an off-center portrait of Lincoln where part of the design spills into the rim, a planchet with an unusual size, weight, or edge style, or a missing mint mark where one should be present. And authentication is critical, because countless fakes and altered coins circulate online, so serious buyers always insist on certification from trusted grading companies, which also provide condition grades that can make or break the final selling price. And while the average 2001 penny is worth exactly 1 cent and will forever remain so, the rare error varieties can be worth hundreds, thousands, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars, culminating in record-breaking examples like this one at $0.89 million, and each story like this reinforces the thrill of the hunt, inspiring both seasoned numismatists and casual hobbyists to keep checking their change, searching coin rolls, and studying the details of every penny that passes through their hands, because you never know when a simple copper-plated zinc coin might turn out to be a life-changing treasure, and it's that sense of possibility, rarity, and tangible history that makes the 2001 one-penny USA coin such a phenomenon in the collecting world, a shining example of how mistakes in production can transform an everyday object into an extraordinary artifact, one that carries within its small metal surface a story of chance, discovery, and immense value, forever cementing its place in the pantheon of legendary coins that prove even the smallest denomination can hold the biggest surprises.